Casa to the Pack. It is Pack here, and in today's video, there's still more NBA 2K21 next generation news to cover. So when they released a trailer, or the gameplay trailer, as most of you already know, they released a blog giving a bunch of information. I already talked about that. But there was another piece of information that they gave like little details about what they're going to talk about, and all of it seems pretty interesting. And there's 5 pieces of information that it basically confirms they're going to be addressing and making brand new changes for the next generation that I am super excited about, and I can't wait for them to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it right now. But before this video starts though, you have to be an OG, join the pack, and subscribe, because if you don't do it, you're weak, straight up. I'll let you know. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to cover is rebuilt player movement and player impact, driven by new core animations and collision engines that make for smoother, tougher game. So let me kind of break down what they're really trying to say here. So first thing, they're saying rebuilt player movement and player impact. So that means that they've made a brand new engine for how players move on court to make it a lot more realistic and player impact. So for example, in the trailer you see Tim Hardaway Jr. poster Marquise Chris. That is supposed to be brand new collision engines. So before, how 2K worked is that they had basically animation. So if I dunked on a player, it was that animation. But now it's a collision and player impact engine. So if someone collides into somebody else, it's going to react how a real person will react in that situation, how they're going to get hit, depending on how big or light the player is. That is going to be how it works. It's a lot of interesting things. For example, when a player's trying to drive to the rim, it's not just an animation. If the defender's putting a hand on that player, they're gonna move differently. And I like that they're trying to address that, because that's how basketball works. I hope they address that with screens. Hopefully screens won't be animation based anymore, and I won't get caught on a screen just because the animation forced me to. In real life, if I'm near a screen, it doesn't mean I'm gonna get caught by the screen. I can go under it or around it pretty easily. And I'm praying that they start adjusting that, because that's what it's sounding like. Another thing is driven by new encore animation and collision engines that make for smoother and tougher game. They had talked about, for example, that before it was animation to animation. So let's say a player lobbed it to another player. It forced them to do an animation, which would create some really wacky situations, like it would fly to the rim when it wasn't supposed to be like that. Now it's saying it's gonna be smoother. So if I lob it to a player and he's too far from the ball, it will be a little lazier, or kind of like a little like sloppier dunk, rather than the animation that they're forcing to do. And that's a lot more realistic, and I like that so much more. And it also says a tougher game. Hopefully that means defense plays a lot tougher this year because of the new collision system. That's what I'm hoping for. But I know I'm reading a little bit too much into this, but they are going to discuss this more in time. I'm just excited that this is going to be finally addressed. And number 2 is something that I know a lot of people care about. I'm personally whatever about it, but an expanded soundtrack with 202 songs at launch and more to come. It's not a surprise that 2K releases a soundtrack in every game, and then they sometimes release even more songs throughout the year. But this time, off rip, 202 songs. I know usually we start off with like about 100, so this is 2 times more than usual. And I'm okay with that too, because how many times we play 2K and it's like the same 5 songs, 5 to 15 songs every single time. Now we're having 202 songs to work with, which is nice. Now, I'm not really picky with the songs. I like a bunch of artists. I'm not even gonna say which artists, because I know all of you are gonna roast me, because I'm a basic music listener. I like Drake, Travis, A$AP Ferg, A$AP Rocky. Those are the kind of people I like. I know. Leave me alone in the comments, okay? But as long as they have people like that, I really don't care. I'm gonna be happy with the soundtrack no matter what. And for videos, I'm just gonna mute the music anyway, so I really don't care. And number 3 is that the next generation AI is going to be addressed. So next generation AI, what they probably mean is the AI difficulty when you're playing online. Let's say you're playing Play Now against the computer. The AI is apparently going to be a lot smarter this year. Now, there's a lot of things to AI that we could really break down here. I think the AI has been fine lately. It's been good defensively for the past couple years. Even if you try to set screens on it, you can't really screen cheese AI anymore, because they're smart enough to react to it now. The AI is pretty tough now. I won't lie to you guys. So I think the AI has been fine, really. Maybe it'll adjust a lot more, because sometimes I know it's annoying playing my career and getting triple teamed after making like 3 baskets. That's not really realistic, so hopefully they're going to address that as well. And then not only that, just because you're triple teamed doesn't mean you can't do something out of it, so that should be addressed as well. And then also playing Park And when someone quits and their AI is a god, they literally don't miss shots and they are defensive juggernaut. So I'm really hoping they address that as well, because that has been one of the more annoying things in this game. I think if somebody quits or lags out of their game, the AI should be terrible, because they shouldn't be rewarded for leaving. Their players shouldn't be better than them because they left. It should be worse. That's my opinion. Maybe some of you disagree, but I think the AIs are supposed to suck whenever a player quits in Park or in Rec or whatever. At number 4 is that there are major changes to the My Player Builder. Now, obviously, I can't confirm anything besides saying, hey, there's going to be a brand new My Player Builder. That's all I can really tell you here. I can't really break down anything because they didn't give us any other piece of information, but I am interested to see where they're going to go with this, because think about this. Where are they going to go? They already had the pie charts. They have are 2 different archetypes you can really pick from, and they used to have that too, where you could pick like a 3-point shooting, defending kind of player. So they've done a bunch of different things. I personally, if I could have my way, I want the percent pie chart where I can pick how much of what is going to go into what. If they could do that, that would be awesome. That's the best, because I would just do a quarter of everything and I would make an all-round like player. That's what I would want to do. But until 2K announces more information, I can't tell you more besides that, but to be excited that, hey, there's gonna be a brand new My Player Builder, that's gonna be cool. And then finally, at number 5, the last little piece of information I can give you is that fans will get an in-depth look into what will be the biggest expansion of 2K's online basketball community feature yet, the experience formerly known as the Neighborhood. So we already know that the Neighborhood is basically gone. It's gonna be called something new. But just because it's called something new doesn't mean that it's gonna be something completely different. Like, just because it's not called the Neighborhood anymore, they can call it like the Streets, and it's still the same concept. But what they're saying is that it's gonna be a new experience. So that means that they could change it up completely. No one knows exactly what this is going to be yet, but we do know a couple things. They hinted a lot about international and other places in the world, and a lot of people are believing that it's not gonna be called the Neighborhood anymore. It's gonna be called the world or the globe, and you can, instead of playing in one neighborhood, you play all around the world. It'd be interesting, and I'm cool with that, but as long as it's an open world experience, I'm happy. I don't want to have to go to different lobbies for different like locations. That's kind of annoying. I'd rather it be one open world like it is in the Neighborhood, but instead of the Neighborhood, it's like a giant, massive open world. That would be cool. I'm not going to guarantee that. We don't know about it too much yet, but we do know there's going to be a brand new park experience, and that's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to know more about that. What are you guys most excited about? I want you to leave it in the comments below, and if you like this channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time. If you want all the latest news of NBA 2K and also NBA in general, you should follow me on my Twitter account at PackHoopsYT. Not only that, I do giveaways all the time when it comes to VC, games, and also even consoles, so check it out, follow me, and see you there.